Yo, good evening, everybody. Yo, what's up? It's your boy Ayon. But I got another thing to bring up. So ever since this February 5th update for this Call of Duty Cold War Warzone update, all this new shit, these new maps, I noticed that today that when I loaded up on my PC, I noticed that the frame rate cap on Cold War has increased from 300 to 335. So I was like, well, did they increase the FPS on Warzone? Absolutely not. Now I don't know what happened, but for whatever reason, I'm getting crazy FPS, more FPS than I've ever had with my Ryzen 3900X. Now I'm gonna show you what it's saying right now up in the top corner. This is 335 FPS. Now that must be the cap for just it at still screen. But even before that, even with a RTX 3080, I wasn't getting that. Now this is a Supreme X RTX 3080, right? And it's at, I'll show you. It's running at it's just running at stock settings. Nothing is overclocked. Everything's running at stock settings. So I'm trying to figure out what they did with this update for Cold War because it's really running optimally in Cold War. It runs shitty in Warzone. They said that dlss support was supposed to be coming. I haven't seen shit for that. That's my mode right there. I play that, but well, I'm not getting the FPS. And ever since they merged Warzone with COD, when it was like that, I was getting over 200 FPS with a 3900X running an RTX 2080. With a 2080, I was getting over 200 FPS. When they merged that shit, I'm telling you, something happened. I don't know what they did to the Infinity Fabric. I don't know what they did, but I'm telling you, I was getting the frames. I wasn't even, I had XMP, on lock with it. I was only running at 4.1 gigahertz on a Ryzen 3900X. Because at that time, there was no 5950X. There was no 5600. None of that bullshit. None of that new shit was out. And this was the caviar. This was the shit to have. Now, all of a sudden, it seems like once that new shit came out, my shit one got nerfed into the ground. And only on Cold War and on multiplayer, Warzone, regular Modern Warfare multiplayer, was I seeing high frames per second and 200 and 235 and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, if you cannot get a Ryzen 5950X, then I have to be honest, man. You better get you a i9 10900K. Get you a board. You know what I'm saying? Get you a good, a good cooler for it that's gonna cool that damn thing down and get. Because for some reason, Warzone is separate from Modern Warfare. It runs on a different system for some reason, and you're not gonna get the FPS that you need to play it. For some reason, the 5950X works crazy. Like my friend's 5950X, he's getting 250 frames per second in downtown, and he's getting like 300, almost 290, 300 in farmland. It's ridiculous. But I guess the extra cores, so it scales with extra cores and extra how can I say the overclock for it has to be over 4.5 and up gigahertz on all core clocks. If you can get all cores to do that, on the 5950X, you're gonna have a tremendous advantage over anybody in Warzone. I'm telling you right now. Ever since that first initial update between Warzone and Call of Duty merging together, something happened within their code or whatever you want to call it, and it nerfed the shit out of FPS in Warzone. But the regular standard game and multiplayer game got the FPS, you know. And the only way to get Warzone FPS is to go and get a fucking i9 processor. Because you can't get anything else. You got to get an i9 10900K to get it. Or 5950X. Seeing how i9 10900K, for the amount of money, for 444 or for $518, you can get 220 frames per second. Stable. And 200, and it'd be stable, and then on top of that, get 4.7. Maybe if you got that caviar sweet chip, get that 4.9 or 5.1 on cores. Crazy, right? And whatever, and you'll be able to hang with some of the big boys out there that's running $10 and $6 and $7,000 rigs or whatever. Mine, it got a Ryzen 3900X up in it, man, and it's running the Supreme X. 32 gigs of RAM, D-Skill Flare X, but at the same time, there's some things that need to be done with that. But damn, you know, my frames per second in Warzone should not be 130 with BDI RAM. It should not be 130 FPS max at the most. It should not. Not when you have 235 and 335 FPS in multiplayer. It's just crazy for it to just drop like that. Crazily like that. And I don't know what they did, but they need to fix it. But I'm going to show you something else too. I'm going to go back to this game. And then I'm going to go back to the main screen. And I'm going to show you the rest of the FPS. How high it is. I'm going to go to a game real quick. I'm going to hit quick play. And I'm going to show you. Look at that. That's what it's telling me. And then, I guess, when you look at it, if you go to your options menu, hold on. If you go to your graphics menu, you can look at the cap. Yeah, see, so the cap changed from 300 to 335. So it got buffed. So you get more frames per second, and then you're going to turn dlss on and get even more of a buff, and turn that on, right, and get even more of a buff. On top of that, you're looking at a lot of FPS on PC right now. Playing, I don't know what they did, why they did that, or they're trying to get more people to play this over the Warzone or what, I don't know. But I wish they would bump the FPS on Warzone and do what they're supposed to do on Warzone, because that's important. A lot of people play that. They deal with the damn glitches and cheaters and stuff and get that fixed. Let's go into some gameplay here. I'll find me a match. And I'm just gonna show the FPS up here. Okay. This is Nuketown. Alright, we're gonna see. Let's see what it says up here. Let's see what it's gonna say up here. Hold on 1 second, y'all.
That side. Watch out, that side in the spawn. That side to be down. Fuck you. Fucking Jake Lover, dude.
So you're looking at about 235, maybe 240. About 235, maybe 240.